Hi, guys. I hope you all are having a good day today. If you saw me earlier today, it's good to see you again. I'll give you all a few minutes to let me know that you're arriving and can hear and see me. Give me a thumbs up. Tell us where you're from. You never know, somebody might be stitching next to you. Today, we're going to talk more about BES4 and some of the power packs because this is the time of the year that I use my Power Pack 1 a lot because of the actual, what am I trying to say? The nap control, especially if you're doing stockings and things like that. So towels, stockings, gift giving, it's that time of the year. So let's talk about some power packs. We'll start in BES4, and then we'll talk about how you might be able to do a little bit of the same thing in PE Design, but not quite the same way. It's just a little bit different. It's a beautiful sunny day in South Texas there, Caroline. Wonderful. It's a beautiful day here. It's just a little chilly and windy. So good to see you guys. We've got Sheila, we've got Cindy, we've got Robin, we've got Priscilla, and hello, Miss Pat and Lori from North Carolina. And for those of you that don't remember, I am going to fly a banner across the bottom here. We have a giveaway going on right now. Don't ask me for something else because that is what I have. I have BES4. If you do not have a BES4 and you would like to enter to win and you are in the United States, put in that comment on this video, #need BES4. I'd also appreciate it if you'd like my Facebook page and if you'd share the Facebook page. But that's not a requirement. So, hi Lois, you're here in Wisconsin. You are the high COVID. So, yeah, we're not headed to Wisconsin this year. So, in-laws said, nope, don't need you to come. Stay home. So we're staying home. Don't know what. Actually, have no plans at this moment. I do know my husband is taking the entire week off, so I don't know if he's going to burn his vacation or if we're going to do something, but probably burning vacation. All right, guys. So let's get started. And I'm going to start sharing my screen here. So, as I said, it is that time to give gifts, and Power Pack 1 is perfect for this activity. So whether you're making stockings or making towels, this is something that you will find very handy, and it is included in your Power Pack 1. So I'm going to click on my normal text tool, and I'm going to click on my design page to activate it. And I'm going to type in my name. You could put in a last name, a first name, whatever you want to do. We're just going to do basics for right now. So here's my name. If I want to put nap control underneath it, and what nap control does is it tacks down the base fabric so that your embroidery will stand up instead of sinking into it. You touch the nap control button on your tools tab. This is only available if you have Power Pack 1. It will not show up at any other time. And then you choose how far away you want that nap control to begin. That is your offset. I always put in add a finishing run because I think it gives it a nice clean look. That's up to you. We're going to touch OK. I'm leaving it at the default settings first to see if we want to do anything else to it. So actually, no, I'm pretty happy with that. It will disappear. I usually embroider it in the exact same color as my towel or blanket, or if you're doing a stocking and it's going on a white fuzzy stocking, then what I do is I use the exact same color of whatever the base structure it's going on. And then it just disappears in there and you don't notice it. But what it does is it holds down those loops so that your embroidery that you want to show will actually pop up. And I mean, really, it does a very nice job. It's one of my favorite features. I use that for a lot of stuff, but when I'm doing towels and other things like that, it's a perfect solution. I use water soluble on the top and on the base. So I'll use adhesive backed water soluble stabilizer as my backing, and I'll use the clear wash away stabilizer on the top, and I soak them both in a little bit of like Downing or no affiliation, water softener. So, you know, your Calgons, your Downies, whatever. No affiliation with brother or with me, but that's how you usually get it out. It takes the slime away. But I usually will cut it up as close as I can to the actual item and then dissolve it away. If you're going on something that can't be washed, just put it on adhesive tearaway. If it doesn't matter, put it on adhesive tearaway, and then put the clear on top and just spritz it. And then you can take a paper towel and press it down and lift it up. So get as much off of it first as you can. Let's talk about using that though in a different manner. So if we decided to use an embroidery design and you wanted to have that go around it, or let's get a little bit more fancy than just Cindy. Well, let me come back over here. You need to put in hashtag need BES4 exactly as it appears going across the ticker down there at the bottom. Otherwise, you will not be picked up. Okay. Yes, I use my topper even with the nap control. And the reason being is because it actually holds the nap down while you're embroidering the nap control. So it just makes life a little bit simpler and gives it a better look at the end. You don't have to, but it does give you a better result. All right, so I'm going to come in here and we're just going to add a design. Let's see here. We're going to make fancy towels here. So here's my fancy towel embroidery. Now, I'm going to come in and I'm going to put in a name, a last name in the middle of it. Left click away from it to set it, or click apply, either one, and we're going to put it in the middle here. So let me see. I want to change my color to something else so you guys can see the two different varieties, two different items there. Now, you do want to align it, so you would draw around all of it, go to your Arrange tab, and choose Horizontal Center and Vertical Center. All right. For me, that's not appealing. I'm not crazy about that font, that N. So let's see what else we can find. If you click on your font drop-down menu, you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard and you get a preview of your fonts as you are going through them. Let's see what Celestial looks like. I like Baby Point, but it's not my favorite one for this activity. So as I'm using my arrow key, it's the up and down arrow keys on your keyboard, Cindy. It lets you see the preview of the font. If you just scroll, you don't get the preview, but if you use your arrow keys, you get a preview. Let's see what Estella looks like. Well, I like that one, but I think there may be one other that I like better. I just have to find it. Let's see what Grimaldi looks like. Oh, no, not that one. Yeah, and this is kind of one of those, you've got to figure out which one you like based on the text that you're looking at. And that one's okay. I may end up going back to what I was looking at the beginning, but there's no harm in checking this out. That one's kind of cute. So it all depends on if you're looking for ornate or fun. Let's see this one. All right, I'm going to go back up. So notice as I just scroll back up here, I'm not getting the preview, but we're going to go to one I know that I like, and it is Bella Large. So Bella Large is the one I want to use, but it's too big for my frame. Okay, so how do I get my frame separated? I'm going to look over here in the left-hand side. You can see what parts they are by clicking on them. So if I come down here and scroll, let's see, that's still in the first one. That's still in the first one. Still in the first one. So I'm betting it's after these little dots. Yep. So now I've got my second half. I'm going to click on that first piece. You'll notice I've got a little square around there. I'm going to hold my shift key down and click on the last piece of that. So now I can use the control key on my keyboard. Oh, fiddle-dee-dee. You do have to pay attention to what you're clicking. You have to go back in and actually touch the item before you can hit that control key. So come back in, click on the item that you just selected, and then you can hold your control key and your arrow key down, and you can create space between the two halves of the design. And I'm just holding it down. I'm going to keep doing that a little bit more. All right. So now I think I'm happy with that. I've got space between my letters. I like my font. I'm going to come and grab it all and horizontal center, vertical center. Now, we know we're going on towels or something thick, maybe a blanket. So I'm going to right mouse click on this and I'm going to apply a recipe. I'm going to choose the towel recipe. That should beef up the thickness of my lines so that they don't disappear as well. It will actually add some pull compensation to the design. So you saw how my letter thickened up there. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. It also beefed up my frame a little bit. So now I'm going to go to my Tools tab and we're going to touch the Nap Control button. And I'm going to tell you it's not going to do what I want it to do the first time. Flat out, I'm sitting there staying that to begin with. But we're going to go ahead and do it so you can see what happens. At the default setting of 2, it's going to snug right up to the individual parts. And that's not what I'm looking for this particular activity. So what can I do to make that work a little bit better for me? First of all, I clicked undo. But I can come in and I can choose add a design. We can add just a little frame here and draw a circle around our item. I'm going to snug it in a little bit. And I do want it to catch part of the frills. So I'm going to just kind of keep it right in there. And then we'll grab it all and we'll center it again. There we go. So now we can go to our Tools tab and touch Nap Control, and this should give me exactly what I want this time. We'll get rid of that circle after we're done, but it will give you an overall nap control instead of just right up against the edges of things. So then you can come in and grab your purple and delete it, your circle. And there you go. You've got a beautiful nap control ready to go. That is one of my favorite ways of doing that. So, and if you wanted to, you could shape it up, but you'll notice that what it does magically is toss that to the front of the sewing order. So it sews in the correct order for you. All right, guys, any questions so far? We good? So Cindy asked the question, and I think I answered it for you. When I scroll over the font types, how do I get them to show up? That's the up and down arrow keys on your keyboard. As you scroll, if you just touch, once you clicked on the down arrow, you can just touch a down arrow on your keyboard, and it will go up, down, left, or right. And that will give you your previews. I'm looking to see if there's any questions. So no, doesn't look like there's any questions there. Okay. Let's go back and talk more about Power Packs. So that is one that I use a lot. I will say Nap Control was one of my favorite things that we got added. But let's talk gift giving here. So let's go ahead and delete everything besides the Neil. Let's say the person's name is Neil and you want to make a key fob for Neil. Well, you can do that as well. I can come in, I can choose add design, and this time I'm just going to add a little rectangle. So let's go to applique shapes. And I should have just a little, there we go, a little square will work. So I'm going to pop that in there. And I'm pretty sure this is a blog post on Brother Sews. If you go back and look for a key fob, there are specific dimensions and stuff that I mentioned there. but it never hurts to redo this for you guys here, just so that you can kind of get an idea. I'm going to shrink this down. So this is my tab for my key fob. And I would do center. So I'm going to go to my tools tab and, excuse me, the arrange tab, and we want to choose vertical center so that it's centered on your name. Now that we've got that, we would go to our tools tab and we would choose nap control. This time I'm going to take that offset up a little bit. We're going to take it up to like 3 millimeters and add our finishing run. That adding the finishing run is the biggie, because what that's going to do is give us an outline to create an applique. So there we go. We've got our basic name. I'm going to make it a little bit wider because I don't want it to do that dip right there. So let's undo. And we're going to select all items again. Go to nap control and let's go up to 5 this time. Oh, I forgot my finishing run. Bang. That's okay. We can do it from this. So there we go. I'm kind of happy with that one. So then what I would do is I would choose convert to applique. So we can get rid of our rectangle here. And we can come and grab our nap control and we can say convert to applique. Once you've got it converted to applique, you can change that to a run. Click apply. And then you want to change the run type from single run to a bean. Now here's a key little trick. If you change your tack down offset, that actually, I want to change my inset percentage. Where is that? I'm going to go ahead and change my tack down offset to, let's do -3. And you'll notice that it brings that in. So you would cut the outer edge and it would stitch down tight around here. So there you go. You now have your key fob. And all you'd have to do then is put your snaps in and you're ready to go. So you would actually stitch the applique part first. Actually, I usually stitch my placement line and then I go back in and I stitch the name. After I lay my fabric down on top of it, stitch the name, and then I'll put the back fabric underneath it and stitch it with the final stitch. So that's another little gift idea. Okay, you guys are not very talkative today. Any questions? It's not going to be a long one today because I have company coming, but any other questions? So no. All right, let me think. What else can I do? Let's talk about Power Pack 2. So Power Pack 2 is all about artwork. The Power Pack 1 is more about embroidery stuff. Power Pack 2 is all about artwork. But if you have artwork, you can actually convert it to appliques. So don't think that it's just this one and only thing. So artwork gives you control of other things. What type of fabric do I use? I've used marine vinyl. And your Scan and Cut will cut marine vinyl beautifully. If you have a Scan and Cut, that's an awesome tool to use with it. No, I would not need a satin stitch around the key fob. If you have the bean stitch would be my finishing stitch. So no, you don't actually need that. You can find that tutorial on the Brother Sews blog. It's blog. Hold on, banner. Brother Sews blog. Where are you? Of course, oh, there it is. There you go. That's where you'll find that tutorial. You'll find the nap control tutorial. There's also one on fuzzy animals that I did for an Easter activity, but that could be used for gifts around this time. Anytime you're wanting to hold things down. So that was one of those where I did, what am I trying to say? Embossed lettering. So I'll show you that one. So Power Pack 1 does have other things besides nap control. It has convert to decorative fills. It has auto split for the jumbo frame for the PR ton needle machine. It allows you to send multiple designs to your machine wirelessly. It allows you to retrieve designs from a Dream machine or the 1050 or the 1000, or the Luminaire, it does not, because it does not reach PHX files, but it does give two-way communication between the Dream and anything that does not save out as a PHX on the Brother line. Okay. No, you would not cut, you would cut one at a time, one layer. So I lay a piece of vinyl down and then I cut one side. Make sure that you mirror the back side. Otherwise it won't work right. Okay. So I've got questions here. Hold on. Let's see here. So you don't have to remember what I did, what I've shown today. It is actually on the Brother Sews blog. The two things I just did, they're there, and there are complete instructions with them. How would I do a mug rug? That would not be something I would do in BES4, and that's not what I'm going to answer today, Miss Pat. We'll think about that another day. Circle monogram to convert to cut with a scan and cut. All right. So we're going to talk Power Pack 2 now. So that is in Power Pack 2. Okay. So I'm going to take off the banner here so it stops showing that. And let's come back to comments and see what else I've got. Okay. So if I go to my text tool and I choose my normal text tool, one of the things that Power Pack 2 gives me, actually, I don't want that. I want my monogram designer. Not monogram designer, monogram text tool. Hold on. I've confused my software here. Monogram text tool. I'm going to click on my design page to activate that tool, and I'll type in my 3-letter monogram. Now, when I go over to my font categories, there's a font category filter, just so you know. There are different style fonts. We're not going to go with those. We are going to click apply first of all, and that's there. I'm going to come, and usually it gives me artwork fonts, but it's not today. Why is it not? Rounded Modern Monogram, Miss Sherry, is an artwork font. It is your circle monogram. And when it says it's a decor, if you see decor and none, and there's a drop down, the blue arrows there, then you have different decorations that you can add around it. There are quite a few in this little category, and they are quite fun to use. These are already artwork, so you don't have to do anything to them before you send them to your scan and cut. And since you have Power Pack 2, you can send directly, and if you have a wireless scan and cut, you can go up to the paste setter button and choose scan and cut machine, send to scan and cut machine. I don't bother titling it because it's not going to land anywhere. It just pings Canvas Workspace, click OK. And then when you go to your scan and cut machine, you'll actually see that design at the machine. Yes, Rhonda, this will work with both with the 1055X. Maybe I'm not logged in. It's taken that an awful long time to ping, but hold on a second. Let me come back up and see what else we got. I have not cut Pellon foam with a scan and cut. I don't know how well that would do. I think that's more than 3 millimeters. And my guess is that would, if it's higher, if it's thicker than 3 millimeters, your scan and cut will not cut it. And Sharon, just so you know, you always cut one layer. You can cut multiples, but you always have to have a firm grip with the mat. So it's only one layer at a time regardless, okay? Yes, artwork as text is only with PowerPack 2. Yes, I could use type of word with more than 3 letters. I just used the question up there was how to do a circle monogram for artwork, which is what I just did. So I'll show you some others, but that was monogramming. Okay. No, that one would not be for embroidery. You could convert it to embroidery, but it would not, since we don't have fill stitches, we have decorative fills. That would not convert well into embroidery unless you had a different program. You could do an applique. Everybody has applique, but this is specific. That particular one would be specifically for artwork. But you do have capability of doing a circle monogram if you wanted to, not in artwork mode. There we go. Scan and cut succeeded. That took a while today. Decor monogram number 12 is the circle monogram tool. And it has decors as well. So if you wanted a circle monogram, you actually have one in embroidery mode as well. Same monogram font. It is just not artwork. It's now embroidery. Okay. So you don't have to do anything else. So somebody else asked if we could do text in artwork mode. Yes, ma'am, we certainly can. So I can come in here and I can type in my name. You do type whatever you want to type in. But when you go to font categories, this time you want to choose artwork cut fonts. Once you choose artwork cut fonts, it only gives you the fonts from the pull down menu that are available for artwork. So now that one's in artwork mode. And as I keep going through, I'm going to have artwork mode. All of your TrueType fonts are available in artwork mode. And they cut beautifully. But all of that's artwork mode. Now, one of the fun things to do is use your arrangement tools. So if you go on to your tools tab, you have an arrange tool. You have arrange on a circle, arrange on a corner, arrange on rows, scatter the design. So if you wanted to do something kind of fun, you could play with putting the name on a circle. I'm going to make since it doesn't matter on my embroidery side, on the width, I can make this quite large. Because it's artwork, it's not going to hurt stitch count. Boy, that's kind of cool. I like that Y catching there in the middle. But we're going to give it time to do its thing. I must have made my letters pretty large. Okay. So you can come in and make them, spread them out. You can increase the number of repeats that you have. You can make a clock. You can have fun with that one. Okay. When you're done, click OK. I'm using BES4 with PowerPack 2 right now. So that one gives you that option. Other things that you can do with PowerPack 2. There are artwork designs that are built into it once you get PowerPack 2. So let's say you wanted to do this ornament. Come in, drag it. You can go to your Tools tab. You can say Arrange and Scatter. And we can make them, they can go down to, we're going to take them down to 30% and apply. And maximum scale, we're going to make them 120. And we're going to make this 300. I must have made that one big old honking ornament. Yeah, let's make that ornament a little bit smaller. Now let's go scatter it. And as you click apply, it rearranges it the best it can. So let's say we want to go down to 40%. Don't go this low with embroidery, but you can play with things more when you're in artwork mode than you can with embroidery. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, it's got color sorting automatically on there. Now, here's a cool trick. Go to your Arrange tab. There's this button, and it's a magic button. It's called Separate Layers. When you touch that, it will separate those into 3 different colors of your embroidery design, and it'll be ready to go. Now, I'm going to undo that. If you want to have it be able to be aligned by the 3 different colors, you come and select all items, and you come touch layering alignment. You can choose where you want to align it, top, bottom, left, or right, how far away you want the alignment marks placed from your original design, and touch OK. It will automatically put a weaving square around it, and it automatically puts alignment squares for each layer. So then you touch all items, separate layers, and you can have it save the colors in separate files. Touch OK, and there you go. So you would just go in and type in a name for it, and they're all saved. Okay. So that's a cool way to make plate decorations, fun stuff like that. I love the fact that I can play with the tools that I have to use with embroidery with artwork. That is very fun. If you also look down in here, just so you know, let's go into logos. There are holidays, there's ho ho ho, there's joy, there's joyful. You've got Noel, all kinds of different word art here. Gather would be a good one for Thanksgiving. If you want that to be a 2-color item, you can come to your Arrange tab. Let's try offsets here, see if this is going to like me or not. We're going to have our spacing be at 4. We're going to leave the first selection and say OK. There we go. So now I have 2 color. Let me go ahead and put that in a different color so you can see it. We'll turn it on, and then we'll change the order. I don't know that I would do green and gold there, but that's a good little adhesive saying that you could put and have ready to go. And once again, layering alignment. So let's say we wanted that to be hello, undo. Green, let's make that orange. And then let's make that black. There you go. That's Halloween. That wasn't what I was going for either, but you never can tell what's going to look good on screen here. All right, guys. You can do layering alignment, and then you can separate your layers one more time. You do want to say OK, and you do want to save it. I'm just going to cancel that because I don't actually want to save it. Okay. All right, let me come back up and see if we've got any questions here. How do you change from artwork form? You have to go in and choose artwork as the style. So when you're doing fonts, it stays in artwork mode for the next time. So when you go to choose fonts, you're going to change it from artwork to standard. And I'll show you how to go back and forth between the two. If you wanted really large letters, would I set that on BES4 or send and worry about the size at the ScanNCut? You can do it right here in BES4. You don't have to do it at the ScanNCut. You can do it right here in BES4 if you have the PowerPack 2. Okay, any other questions up here? Okay, nope. Okay, let's go back over here. Now, if I want to get out of artwork mode, let me come grab this. Let's go to home and go back to my text tool. So I told you I would still be, whatever I used last is what is going to be in place to begin with, okay? So the last thing I did was TrueType fonts. If I don't want TrueType fonts, I need to take off TrueType fonts. And then I can come in and choose what I want. If I picked artwork font the last time, so let's say I chose an artwork cut font and applied it. If I go down and choose different, I can choose all and go back in and grab something else. But until I choose something else, artwork cut style is going to be what's there, okay? Rhonda, you have to have BES4 to begin with. And BES, oh, hello, that's lovely here. BES4 is a Windows program. So you would have to have a Windows operating system on your Mac. And you have to have the base level of BES4 before you can add any Power Packs to it. You can skip Power Packs. You do not have to buy them in any specific order, but you do have to have the base level first. That's the only set rule that there is. You have to have the base level, and it is a Windows program. Okay, let's see here. Now let's go over to PE Design for a little bit. I told you I'd start in BES, and we would finish in PE Design. So that's where we're going next. I've got to open it up first, though. I don't see any other questions that I haven't answered. Okay, it's starting. Give me just a second. So nap control in PE Design. There is not a specific button for nap control, but you can make it work. It's not quite the same. The texture is not the same, but it will do the job. Okay. So if I came in here and I typed in my name, just like I did earlier. Let me change my hoop size to a smaller hoop. Okay, let's come and grab our fonts. And once again, now what's cool about this program is that it allows you to see a preview of the first 5 letters in your font style. So the first 5 letters of whatever you've typed, you'll get to see in the font style that you're looking at. I like that. That is one of the reasons I like text here. So let's say we do Princeton Italic. There we go. We're ready to go. Now I want to put nap control around it. Well, you'll notice there is no nap control button here, right? So there is a workaround. What I can do is I can touch my embroidered patch wizard. You don't want any stitches to go. You'd want to choose how far away you want it from your original pattern. I don't know this in inches. I'm a metric girl, but we'll go ahead and leave it at that and assume that's the default. So I'm going to go back and touch metric, and then we'll try it again. Undo. All right, so I want it to be about 2 or 3. We'll try 2 to begin with and touch OK. So there we go. Now, how do I get it to be nap control? What I would do is I would grab in my sewing order window, grab the piece that went around the outside edge and click on my select tool. Change the region from not sewn to net fill stitch. Then go over to my sewing attributes, and I like the last style because it tacks down the loops in every direction. I'm going to change the color to something else so you all can see the difference between the two. And I usually take my spacing down and make it as tight as it will go, about 2 millimeters. Then you can change the order of sewing. because it doesn't know it's nap control. It just knows you're stitching something. And there you go. So that is your workaround in PE Design. There's more steps. It's not a one button wonder, but it does allow you to do nap. That gives you a way to do nap control in PE Design. You could do that with any design. All you do is touch the embroidered patch wizard, so if I came and did this and go to my home tab and say embroidered patch wizard, now it's taking it based off of that one. So it's going to go a little bit further out. And you would do the same way. So, would it be possible to use the stamp to continue to echo around it? Isn't that what I just did there? You could also, if you want to, undo. If you want to echo around it, there is an easy way in PE Design to echo around something. So if I grab it and I go to my Shapes tab, I have a button called Create Offset Lines. You can choose how many repeats you want of something. You can have it rounded. You can go inward or outward. And I can touch Preview and you'll see what I've got. So there's my echoes going around what I have. You can choose how far apart you want the echoes spaced. So if you wanted them even with the first one, that would be 2 millimeters is what I did. You can have it round the corners so that they're not as sharp. I kind of like that one. Touch OK. So now you've got your echoes out. Yes, you could do the nap control key fob in PE Design, but you wouldn't have to use nap control. You would use your embroidered patch wizard, Sharon. So instead of doing nap control, you touch the embroidered patch wizard, or actually all you have to do is touch the applique button. So if you wanted to do the key fob here in PE Design, let's go back and delete all this and get back to our letters. So here's our name, and I want to add in a basic shape in front of it. So I'm going to add my rectangle in front of it here. And I'll get rid of the rectangle when we're done, but this is our basic shape, and we're ready to take it and turn it into a patch. So you touch your applique wizard. You can choose a zigzag stitch, an eave stitch, a V stitch, or a chain stitch. I'm going to go with the E stitch, and we're going to change it to a running stitch when we're done. Actually, I take that back. We're going to go with zigzag. Touch OK. And you'll notice it's gone around the outside edge. Ooh, hello. I've got a big old thick outline, so that's not what I want. Applique wizard. I want to go with about 3 millimeters. And I want that a little closer to my pattern. We'll touch OK. And there you go. Now, if you wanted a running stitch instead, which is what I did before, we can take this and change it to a triple stitch. And there you go. So if you want that, if you want it to go perfectly to where, let's check that color and see which one's the inside. So there is my triple stitch, and it is right up against that outside edge. That is what I would want. I don't need 2 of them though. But if you want it further in from the outer edge, what you could do is exactly what I did before and choose Create Offset Lines. This time go inward instead of outward. 2 millimeters. Preview. And now it's really up nice and tight and close to that. If it's too close, let's say we want to go 1 millimeter. That's probably where I'd want it. Then you can take off the first one. And so now you've got your placement stitch. All you need is your placement stitch and then your bean stitch. And then you can get rid of your purple. So you would put your in there, snaps, and you're ready to go. Okay. Let me see. Let's come back up here. Yeah, I know I've covered a lot of topics today, Molly Ann. We tend to do that when people ask questions. So I did say bring your questions and bring it on because I didn't have any massive amount prepared for us today. I have been running around like a chicken with its head cut off this week. Any other questions for me? If not, I am going to, so there are 3 spots left in my class for winter. If you all are, if anybody is interested in that, please let me know. It's a 4-week class. It will be $80. 3 of my people did not sign up. If they have forgotten, they do get first choice, but we are going to be doing, I don't have an actual physical sample with me. I have a somewhat sample, but not an actual not an actual physical sample. So I can kind of show you what we're doing. And give you an idea. We are going to be working with the flexible spiral. We're going to be creating decorative fills. This gives you kind of an idea what we're going to do, but it's not totally done. But this is what it's actually going to have. So it's not quite as secular. It's Welcome Winter instead. We'll be creating our own decorative fill for the back. We'll be doing flexible spiral fills. But this is a PE design class. And we'll add in our, whatever those guys are, our deer, and we will do a little bit of piecing in the hoop to go around the outside edge. So that's the next class, and it starts this Thursday. So if you want in on it, please let me know immediately. Tanya, you're the first one to reach out and say you want in on it. So you are in there. And Lori, you're next. So email me or private message me, and I will send you a link to go sign up. That means there's 1 spot left, guys. Okay. You all need to play with your software. You know, what I've done today is a perfect example of what I sit down and do to say, okay, I want to, no, Lori, if you don't have PE design, you will not be able to do this. So we do them at our classes at 3:30 Central. This first one is going to be Thursday, and then we're going to decide from there because it's 4 weeks and we would like to get finished before the holidays really start, before Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving, but before Christmas rush, all of the gatherings and all of that stuff coming. So just let me know. We're probably going to have one session have 1 week have 2 sessions in it so that we can finish up. We're going to do endpoint sewing on the luminaire. If you don't have a luminaire, that's fine. You could actually do you could do a decorative stitch and just not use the endpoint sewing. But we will be doing that is upgrade kit 2 for the XP1 owners, and it is built into the XP2. So, or the luminaire 1 or the luminaire 2. So just let me know. It was great to see you all today. Thank you so much for joining me again. Remember, sometime after Thanksgiving, sometime in December, we're giving away the BES4. I'm waiting to do that for when my friend Leanne gets to come do a show with us. I've got a friend in Australia, and if she once her 10 needle comes in, she wants to come on and have a show with us. So just once that happens, that is going to be the time that I actually share it. So let's see here. Any other ones? Gatherings, you're in a lockdown again? Oh, yeah, no, we're not having a gathering. Like I said, my in-laws said, no, we don't get to come. So they said, no, you don't get to drive that 14 hours. So I'm bummed that we don't get to go see them, but I'm not bummed that we're not driving. So let's see here. So it is, Vera, it is not posted on my site since there's only 3 slots left. I'll send you a link if you want it. So just private message me and I'll take care of it for you. I'll send you the link. You will go through my website. It is a secure checkout once you get to the checkout page. It's not secure just browsing, but it's a secure checkout when you get to the checkout page. Okay, guys. You all have a great rest of the week. I'm not sure about next Tuesday because, like I said, the hubby is off. We may go do something, whether it be leaf watching or leaf blowing or whatever. But I will let you know. I'll post sometime this weekend if I'm going to do Tuesday or not. So you all have a great rest of the week. Thank you for joining me today. And if you have questions, be sure and shoot me an email or private message me. Okay? Have a great one. Bye-bye.